Welcome to the Landscape Photography Vlogcast, hosted by myself, Tom Peters, aka the Photo Ninja, all the way up north, Paul Thompson Photography, and Struth mate, it's Matt Bishop. We cover all things photography and chat to some of the best photography minds in the business. Put your feet up, your kettle on, and let's jump straight into this week's Vlogcast. Proudly sponsored by Case Filters. Capture with confidence.
Can you remember how to do this? Because I haven't got a clue.
Oh, I've got no friggin' idea at all. It's been that long. How about you, Tom? Tom?
Sorry, mate, I've been asleep.
Oh, God.
How long for? A month?
Probably. I wish.
How those little kids going, mate?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asleep. So this is the only time. What's the time now? 9.
Does it
It's
matter
lucky.
with you? Does it matter what time it is?
Well,
Yeah.
look, kids are
God,
in
you
bed
gotta-
now, so
Just
is
rolls
sleep
into
time.
one. Just rolls into one, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Oh,
But
geez, you're looking good, don't you? Your face looks like you've been hanging out the back of a tram, doesn't it?
a tram or a tram?
A tram.
It's like,
Do you have
more like he'd been chasing a tram.
Jim chasing a tram? He's got the face like a back of a tram. You know, the front and the back are exactly the same. There you go, right.
Thanks for that.
So
Yeah,
how's
you,
everybody
you look,
been?
you look great, by the way.
Thanks. Cheers, boys. Here's my cup of tea.
Yeah. He's to the first one of the year as well.
The first one of the year.
Yeah.
When was the last time we did one? It's actually, God, we let it
it
drag
was-
out a bit too much, didn't we?
It was December. December we did one.
Oh, it's okay. It's still January. Well, we're recording in January.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
depends on you, Paul, when you release it. Could come out in
Yeah.
March.
Yeah, would have. Hey, I'm usually quick off the draw, mate.
No, you are. You're good with that, aren't you? Yeah. How are we, boys? All right?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
All good. Yeah,
Been
just
busy?
been flat out. I've been flat out, especially this last few weeks. I've been trying to churn content out and try and get ahead of the game a little bit.
Yeah. Makes it hard after Christmas, doesn't it?
Oh, doesn't it just?
So all that eating and drinking, and then you just kind of
Yeah.
lay on the couch, and the kids go back to school, and you've got to wake up again, don't you? And say, okay,
Yeah.
get back to work. Yeah.
Yeah, all good fun though. As about you, Tom? Are you kind of coming round yet, or is he still in the land of don't know what to do?
Retirement, yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
doing all right. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I feel like we're getting in the groove a little bit.
Ah.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a whirlwind, isn't it, as you both know.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I like being a dad that's there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm crawling around on the floor and I'm making sandwiches and wiping asses and that. Yeah,
Not at the same time, hopefully. Eh?
no. I'm,
Is that Nutella on the sandwich, Dad?
yeah.
It's a bit nutty.
Yeah. So I've just been struggling to sort of juggle everything really. So I've just put
Don't
the
juggle it,
photography
mate.
on the back burner a little bit.
You have to. I mean, you've got to think when your kids are that little. Look, I'm sort of, well, Paul, you're sort of getting past it now, I suppose, because your kids are getting a bit bigger. But
Oh, you're joking, mate.
You know.
Aren't you? You're joking.
you know,
Every day is just one battle to the next, mate.
I think it's more sort of in those first 4 or 5 years. It's that very delicate period, isn't it? They're still little. They need you all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, your wife needs you all the time too, because she's going through a whole process as well too. And it's this very delicate period where I think everything in life sort of gets to be put on hold, doesn't it? Really,
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a very unselfish period of your life. So, Tom, that you've got a job to go to, don't you? You're not a photographer as
No.
a profession.
No.
So, that this passionate hobby of yours has got to be sort of put on a hold.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is sometimes a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I went out. What day is it now? I went out on
Where am I?
Saturday.
This isn't my house.
Excuse me, I got man flu as well now again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went out on Saturday.
I think people gathered that by because you sniffed like 27 times in the last minute and 30 seconds.
I feel like I'm over the hill now, and I feel like I've got rid of the worst of it.
God, I'm glad we didn't record it when you're under the hill. Jesus.
Yeah, but yeah, I went out Saturday for the first time in probably 6 weeks, I reckon. Yeah, it's decent. Yeah, didn't actually take any decent images, I don't think, but I got some work done. Got some photography work done as such. So yeah, feel like I'm dipped my toe back in now. So
okay,
yeah, that's good.
And after this recording this, I'm actually excited about editing some pictures till God knows when in the morning. So
yeah.
Things are looking up.
It's all fun getting back into it and getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, like Matt said, you just like Kirsty's she's amazing, really. She can't hear me, can she?
No, you don't want to tell her. You don't want to let her know.
Yeah, I don't want to tell her that just yet. But yeah, she's pretty decent. So she always says, "Oh, just go out." But even when I'm out, I'm just feeling like, I better get back, because you know what I mean.
You feel guilty, don't you?
Yeah, your head's not in it properly. So when your head's not in it properly, you can't expect to produce anything decent. So yeah, but yeah, all back to square one now. Hopefully,
that's good
for now.
So, the topic we were going to discuss tonight was moving on to bags, eh?
Yes.
We've all kind of switched
bags
lately, and we've all kind of got the same bags, which is quite interesting.
That is quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I love that. I love the f-stop bag. Decent.
Yeah, it's a great bag.
So we've actually all got the same bags, but a different colour.
Yeah. Well, I got it first, didn't I? I went first, and then you went, Matt, and then Tom went after that.
Yeah. It usually goes in that order, doesn't it?
Yeah, usually.
I like to let it sort of filter through and see if there's anything that I want to look out for before I plunge in.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah. Yeah. We do the experimenting for you.
That's it.
Tom waits to make sure it hasn't all gone to shit.
This is what it's like though with photography and gear, isn't it? Gear is addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very much so.
Especially when you got mates of yours that are photographers too, and they get this, I don't know, this new cable release. And you're like, oh, what? I didn't know that was that brand now. What's it like? And you're very. You get very interested in it. It's like, how come I didn't know about that cable release? You know, oh my God, that's got a built-in Wi-Fi too. Geez, that's pretty good.
It makes coffee as well. Look at that.
It does, yeah.
That's ideal.
So gear's addictive, isn't it? So obviously it is. With the release of all these new f-stop bags that have come out, they've definitely changed their line of how they make their bags, the material and everything sort of changed, and
for sure.
We've just sort of just sucked one another into going for these bags, and
Because what did we all have before? Tom, you had an Aya Evo, didn't you?
I had an Aya Evo, yeah, which is a really good bag, yeah.
And what did you have before, Matt?
I actually, well, I don't know, do we want to start from the beginning and then move on? Because it's quite a very long process of how you go. It's like tripods, isn't it? You start off in the beginning and you move your way up. I think God, if we went all the way back, I actually started with a camera bag as well, as those shoulder bags, you know.
Amazon's Basics.
No way. Amazon wasn't around when I first got a camera bag. I believe it was...
Neither were the dinosaurs.
I think it was called Reporter.
All right, yeah,
good quality stuff.
What were you reporting then?
I was, because I was, I thought I was going to be a, like a journalist or something. That I was really cool, taking street photography. So it suited really, really well. This Reporter bag, completely non-functional at all. It just had a open and closed section on it, and it was just hung around your shoulder. And I think from there, once I started getting into photography, I then went lower pro. Lower pro have been around forever, haven't they?
Yeah.
I had a slingshot You know those ones that sort of go around they go on you like a seat belt,
Yeah.
and then you swing them, and the whole thing turns around in front of, and you pull your camera bag out of there, your camera straight out of the side compartment, which are really good for, if you've just got a camera and a lens and nothing else. But once you start putting your gear on top of it, it's not really that handy. So, and then from there, I sort of moved up. I think over the years I evolved. I started getting different camera bags that were, different brands. I had a Canadian, I think it's called Mountain Smith at some stage, which was really heavy and bulky. And I had the last bag I had before this. I actually had an f-stop ICU. I did my research and found that a good way to save a bit of money and at the same time be able to hike and have all your camera gear all in your one bag, I found a camera bag back then, and it's the same one as you had, mate. What's the name of the brand?
The Mammoth Trion. The Mammoth Trion Pro.
The Mammoth Trion Pro.
Yeah.
I had both. I had the medium-sized bag and the large bag, which are awesome.
Great
bags. Hiking bags are brilliant. And the fact that they actually have the opening section at the back of the harness was really, really important. Yeah. Which is only one of the very few actual dedicated hiking bags that actually have that opening from the harness, which is, I think we all three of us can agree on. If you've got a backpack, you have to have
rear opening.
Rear opening. You throw that camera on the ground, the bag on the ground, you need to have that quick access, pull it all out, and that was definitely a saver for me. But the fact that it was a hiking bag, it was great. I had my ICU, my f-stop ICU in it, and I could access all my gear straight out of the ICU. But all those little compartments, all those little extra things where you could stick some cables here, or I don't know, SD cards in a pocket, or have a dedicated area where you could actually fit your tripod, or maybe 2 tripods, or whatever it is. It wasn't designed for the cameraman, the hiker camera, the photographer. So I was always a bit resilient to get dedicated camera backpacks because I'd seen them in the past and they just seemed, I don't know whether they were too bulky or the actual camera straps on them weren't designed well enough. I do a lot of hiking. I don't know about you guys, but the camera back can be on my shoulders for 6 or 7 hours a day when I'm going out on a hardcore trip. And the support is really, really important. And the hiking bag gave me that support. So it wasn't until this new f-stop line came out, I wasn't convinced before then to go another backpack. So
it's always been a problem for me is camera bags. When you first start out, you're looking for a camera bag just to hold your gear. And then you start to realise that you need a camera bag that gives you enough space to carry all the other stuff, like this non-photography stuff, like jackets and food and water and all the rest of it.
Well, yeah, for sure.
It's, so, and I think you don't start to realise that until you've actually been using it for quite a while, using the photography. Because when you first get a bag, or at least I did, I got a bag which was just dedicated for carrying the photography equipment.
Right.
And then you soon realise, well, it's not much good to me because I need all the rest of the stuff to go with it.
Like your bottle of sherry.
Yeah, your bottle of sherry to go with it,
Yeah, and your slippers.
Yeah, my slippers and my pipe. Well, you need that kind of extra space, and that's the good thing I find with the f-stop bags is that you've got plenty of room. Once you put that ICU in the bag, you've got plenty of room above to get all those jackets and stuff in the side there.
So what's the brand of f-stop we're using now? The name of it? I can't.
Talopa.
Duradiamond. It's made from that Duradiamond. It's very tough.
Yeah.
Canvas, sort of shiny canvas material. It's very, very.
Well, if you
very
remember
resistant.
What Ripstop's like, it's like Ripstop on steroids, isn't it? It's really, durable.
Just throw it and it just, it's so resistant.
Yeah.
I don't even think you'd need to put a pack cover on it under the rain. I've had it under a bit of rain and it seems to hold quite well.
If it's torrential, you really need that cover on, I've found. Yeah. If it's just raining, then it's not really that much of a problem. But if it's absolutely hoofing it down, you will need it in because it does eventually leak through.
How about yours, Tom? Yours is still in the box, isn't it, mate?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, he's been out in the woods
Has
loads
he?
of times. Yeah, I've
Okay.
had it a while now, haven't I? I've had it a good 6. Well, it was only a few weeks after he came out from Italy last year that I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've had it a while now. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I have had it in not torrential rain, but I've had it in fairly hard rain here and there. And I've had to hide under trees now. I've never had the rain cover on it, but then I've never done that anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at saying I don't look after stuff. I do look after stuff because I work hard for money and I don't want to like just piss it up the wall. But like I use stuff. Should I say? You know what I mean? Like, so I've never put a rain cover on any of the bags I've had. But I must admit I haven't worried at all with that with the Talopa.
No, it's pretty durable. It's pretty good that way.
Yeah, but it's a nice mixture between being light but durable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I was like you, mate. I never went for the Italian sling bag.
It wasn't Italian. It's lower pro. Aren't Italian, are they?
I don't know, but it's just Italian thing, isn't it? You know, an Italian has a satchel on.
I don't think it was Italian. I think when I got it, I actually had no idea what I was doing at all. It just looked cool. I just went, oh, that's lower pro. I'm getting that. Because for me, back then, you had no idea. And
No.
I'm not saying that lower pro aren't any good. They've got such a huge gamma, a huge range of bags.
Yeah.
So they've been around for long enough. But that was my experience with them back in, God, how long ago? 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
You know?
It's interesting actually because moving on to the Gitzo bags, the Gitzo bag looks very similar to the F-stop Taloba.
The Gitzo, but it does look nicer, doesn't it?
The new line of Gitzo bags look a lot like the F-stop Talopas.
I think that this sort of design sort of was started off probably by Shimoda, didn't they? That sort of the type of material, the ruggedness of a pack. Before then, they weren't so rugged, were they?
Yeah.
No. I think Shimoda. We could probably safely say that Shimoda sort of started that sort of line of bag, didn't they?
Yeah.
Are they US based, Shimoda?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, I think they are.
Pretty sure they're a US company.
Yeah, designed by photographers, and they know what they do. I've never actually had one in my hands.
I've seen them plenty of times. I've seen other people's Shimoda bags, and they're really well made. Really well made bags, and they're supposed to be really comfortable to wear.
But they'd probably just look a little bit. I think I could be wrong. Do they look a tad bulky? They look just that little bit over the top.
I think they might look bulkier than they actually are. There's not actually that much difference when you see the F-stop against it. It's
against
not,
it, similar.
In fact, the F-stops are actually deeper than a lot.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, as I say, because that no Evil I've got or had, I ain't got any more, but that was a 60 litre with a roll top expandable, so it was probably more like, I don't know, 45, 50 litres.
Yeah.
Actual size. So that felt didn't feel as heavy on your back, didn't feel as deep on your back of your back. Whereas the Talopa it does feel like it's got a bit more girth to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing because it's
not.
Got
No.
a lot of protection in those in those ICUs.
What I was going to say is the Naivo was a 60 litre and the Talopa's a 50, isn't it?
Talopa's a 50, yeah.
I was a bit worried, not a bit concerned that I was used to having an extra 10 litres, but I haven't noticed it at all.
Nah, you won't because it's got so much room inside.
That's what I mean. It just goes to show, like, everyone says, bag's a bag, and you're like, if that's the case, how can you have a 60 litre bag, which I thought was decent, move to a 10 litres less and feel like it's a better bag? And I don't feel squashed in.
Yeah. Still got plenty of room.
Yeah, so this is obviously that statement's obviously not true.
Yeah,
so it's interesting. But yeah, I had a low pro Whistler.
Oh yeah. And they're quite big, aren't they?
That was a 450. I think it was around 50 litres.
Okay,
right.
But that was heavy.
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
Bag was heavy before you had gear in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but that was the first proper photography bag I had. So I didn't know any different. But when I got the Naiva, I was, oh my god, been carrying around that Whistler for all this time.
So what was wrong with a Lowell Pro Whistler bag, mate? Just because my experience with Lowell Pro is just very much the beginning for me. It was my little sling bag. I had my lip. I had my lip balm in there though, which was handy. You know.
There's nothing wrong with it. No, I absolutely hammered that bag for about 6 years. Yeah, it was. I reckon you could have run it over, and it would have been the camera bag. The camera would have been knackered, but the actual bag would have been all right. I just think it was so heavy duty, so resilient to life that it made it heavy. And then I got approached by that Naiva company who wanted to test something out, and I just never looked back, really.
Okay. Because I'm sure. I mean, I know Lowell Pro do make bags, and I know they've changed a lot over the last couple of years. They're sort of going down this line of this new style of backpack, and there's a lot of people that are out there using them, aren't they? So
yeah.
When we're talking about this style of backpack, I mean, what are we referring to? Like, so we're talking about a camera bag specifically. We're talking about a backpack, an integrated backpack for landscape photographers. So let's break it down a little bit for the people out that are listening that might not know that much about them, and they probably maybe want to invest in getting themselves a good pack, or they want to change. Like for us, what are the essential components of a pack? What for you guys? What's the most important things that we have to consider?
Well, for me personally, it's comfort. Comfort's one of the main things. You want to be comfortable carrying all that gear, especially when we're carrying not only photography gear but video gear as well. You're carrying a lot of weight, so you want it to be comfortable on your back. You want to have plenty of space for all that gear, so you need plenty of space to be able to move all that gear around in your bag and make room for it. Because obviously when we're doing things like YouTube or doing other video things, we need to carry all that gear as well, so we need plenty of space.
So what weight are we talking about here, mate? What would you consider a normal weight for a landscape photographer? So someone who's got a camera body, 2 or 3 lenses, and maybe a second camera body, plus a tripod, plus your accessories. Sort of what weight are we looking at?
Wow.
I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest.
Put it this way, my carry-on when we went to Italy, so I had one tripod and my regular loadout, like 2 cameras for video in. I was like 18, almost 19 kilograms.
Kilos.
Yeah. Well, mine must be close to that as well.
It's got to be, isn't it? Yeah.
Gotta be.
I've got to be pushing 20, I reckon. I reckon when I went out on Friday, I got to be pushing 20 because straight from the car, I've got a tripod both. I've got one either side.
Yeah.
While I'm drinking my coffee. Yeah. So normally when I'm walking around, I keep my vlogging camera on the my tripod, and that's over my shoulder. So then I've only got my still stuff.
Yeah.
But when it's all in there, it's got to be pushing 20, I reckon.
So you add yourself a down jacket, a Gore-Tex jacket, gloves, an extra hat if it gets cold, plus your 1 litre of water. You're talking 20 kilos, aren't you?
Yeah, at least.
Probably, yeah.
So support is essential. I mean, you're talking about comfort, Paul. Comfort. Where does comfort come in? Comfort comes into the actual shoulder pads themselves. They have to be.
And the waist straps, because I mean, you want to kind of put a lot of that weight.
The harness has to be, when these backpacks, they have to have very good balance on your hips, because you know that these backpacks, the distribution of weight is basically centered onto the lumbar area of your spine. So on your hips itself, all that weight should focus down onto your hips and be very, very minimal. So you should probably only feel about a good backpack that's well balanced and adherent to your body should be sort of maybe 15-20% at the most onto your shoulders. And the rest should pretty much be straight onto your hips. And if you have most of that body weight and the backpack is designed well and it's on properly, that harness will concentrate that weight onto your hips, and you should feel that
Oh, yeah.
weight a lot less because your hips will take it all in. Once
Yeah,
you
yeah.
start getting more on your shoulders and more on your back, that's when it feels uncomfortable and you have tons of issues. So that's probably the most important thing that you got to look at when you're getting a backpack. And there's so many brands out there now, guys. We've seen that with the, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but, we have an Asian market that is massive. They have mass production of so many different brands. They try and copy a lot of times so many different brands out there, but because they don't have the same quality control as the other bigger brands that have been around for a lot longer, the quality control is not the same. So that things like comfort and weight distribution isn't tested as the same as it would be with an F-Stop or a Lowell Pro or a Gitzo or a Shimoda, for example. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, I think it's got to be. I mean, all of these things have to be tested well. I mean,
Yeah,
to
they
be honest,
do.
before they're even put out on the market. See, the problem, I think a lot of the problem stems from is they design a good bag, but then they'll just shove it straight out on the market. Whereas the bigger brands will actually come up with a product and then they'll test it with photographers before they actually put it on the market.
And then it has a high price tag because of that too.
Well, yeah, it does, but then it's worth paying for because then all those problems have been ironed out.
Well, all you need to
Yeah.
do is pick a camera bag up off the ground 100 times and you pick it up from one strap.
Yeah.
If that hasn't been tested enough, who said that the way that strap has been sewed on to that small section of canvas there, who says that it's been sewed on properly? The machine has sewed it in enough that it's resistant enough to take the weight.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just an example of quality control, what we're talking about. So
Yeah.
you're worth paying that little bit extra at the end of the day, aren't you? Because
At the end of the
that's
day,
what
you're
it comes down to.
thousands of pounds worth of camera equipment. You don't want to cheap out on it. It's like cheaping out on a tripod.
Yeah.
You don't want to cheap out on that either. It's
Yeah.
like, cheaping out on a bag's not going to do you any good. You want maximum protection for all that equipment.
You do.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom?
A lot of the
what-
bags. Sorry, mate, you go.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Tom, what's for you after that? What's important for you in a camera bag after comfort?
After comfort, there has to be. I was going to say functional. It has to have be designed in a way that everything's convenient. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, so that the top bit has access to like your more. Basically, the design of the bag has to be ergonomically friendly. I need things to be in certain areas, so that I can the muscle memory. So nothing's like I'm not searching for things. It has to be convenient. But I would say the back access for me.
Yeah.
Would probably be my neck, because even if the bag was well designed, I like the look of it. It was comfortable. If it never had access via the back, I wouldn't buy it.
No, there's no compromise on that, is there?
No, I don't think so.
No.
So for me, it would be back access, and then I would think, can I fit my stuff in this bag?
Yeah.
To the point where I enjoyed going in and out of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than I've had like the low pro one I had before. It had. I like the fact that you can, on the front of the bag, you can access a pocket that goes right down to the base.
Yeah.
The low pro one had like 3 of them that went down, which is really weird. So you couldn't really fit anything. No, you could wedge a coat in it, but it would bulge in the 2 inner parts. They should have just put like one slip through right down.
Oh.
Like to do with the Talopa,
Yeah.
so you can like cram stuff in. When you put your hand in there, there's like 2 inside sleeves that you got to try and fumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't really feel like it had been designed by someone that puts coats in and out of a bag.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't do that otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming it's like little. This is just a topic that would just goes on and on and on every time they release a bag and they try and iron something out. They probably try and iron things out that don't need ironing out sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they run out of ideas.
So you need that back access to get to what we refer to, for people who don't know it that are listening, to get to your ICU, which is a internal camera unit, which is basically like a square camera back cube itself. And inside there, it's got all your dividers, your Velcro dividers, which is where you put all your camera gear, your main camera gear, your lenses, your bodies, everything you want to quickly access is all sitting inside there. So when you open up the harness, that's what you get to. Then everything else in your camera, the little pockets on the outsides and everything, they're all extra accessories where you might want to put bits and pieces that you want to access, the top section to get your jackets, or, to pull out a, I don't know, a packet of crackers or bottle of sherry in your case, Paul, or
a pipe and me slippers and me
Tom's case, some paracetamol and some tissues. I think, mate, just on the front of your nose, you just got a little bit of snot just hanging.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, grim.
Oh,
there you go. That's all right. It's all right. It's gone. It's gone. Just as well it's a podcast. Just as well it's a podcast.
That's all right. I got it on my sleeve. It's fine.
That's okay. That's all
what
good.
the kids do, isn't it?
That's
He's
all
got
good.
a face for radio.
Okay.
That's why I've been doing YouTube. I got a horrible comment and it's put me right off.
God.
Yeah.
So like things like your ICU, for example, then your ICU for me has to be highly customizable. Every part of it needs to be able to move, because I don't know about you guys, but when I first got my ICU, I spent hours moving dividers around.
You can tell. Oh, that's one thing that I complimented you on, Paul, because I don't compliment you on much. I mean,
no, I've noticed, mate.
You don't get much compliments from anywhere else. That's the top of what I am. If I don't tell you you've stuffed something up, just take it as a compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
But I must admit, the way you design your ICU, I've never seen anyone do it like that before. You've got it. You should. I think you should just do a YouTube video on it and show people how it's done. It's just so well organized. I've never seen anyone. God, have you seen mine? It's a freaking nightmare. I might as well not even have one.
Yeah.
You open up the back, I've got like my 70 to 200 mounted, just shoved in the bottom. I've got my 15 to 30 mounted sitting next to that, and then everything I just thrown, just randomly.
Yeah.
And it's just, every time I open the bag up, everything's changed position. I was like, hang on, didn't I have the 70 to 200 at the top? What happened there? Why is it on the bottom now? And it's just everything moves around every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a long time on mine. I spent 2 or 3 days just moving it around, thinking, "No, that's not right." I'm a bit OCD that way, I think.
Yeah,
I'm a bit like that as well. I must admit.
Took me a while, but then I know every time when I open that flap up, I know exactly where everything is.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it? It's important.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then I suppose next thing's resistance, isn't it? These bags have to be resistant. They've got to. We're out in landscapes, aren't we? So you got to be able to throw your bag up against a rock that you didn't see, and it's nothing's going to get smashed.
Yeah.
You got to be able to throw it in the back of a truck. It's got to be resistant. It's got to be water resistant too.
Today's episode of the Landscape Photography Vlogcast is proudly sponsored by Case Filters Global, bringing a high-quality filter shooting experience to many global landscape photographers and enthusiasts. Paul, Tom and Matt all use these filters on field and highly endorse the product. So if you're looking for a filter system to add to your camera bag that is durable, easy to use and highly functional, and most importantly optically neutral, then look no further than Case Filters. Case. Capture with confidence.
And one thing, I don't know about you guys, I've really, really struggled over the years, and I still haven't found a solution, is my tripod goes onto my camera bag. If I'm walking from the car park to a waterfall that's 5 minutes away, and I've got I've got a cappuccino to go in one hand, and the tripod. and my tripod.
And you're taking the piss out of me for having sherry.
And I've got my tripod under the other and my camera bag on. I've just got to stroll down the bottom of the hill, and I'm probably got my thongs on. I haven't even thongs thongs.
Yeah,
I mean,
guys, that's flip flops for every
flip-flops,
normal person.
yeah. What do they call them in North America? What do they call them? I've got no idea.
I don't
What
know.
do you
We call
call
them flip flops.
Yeah,
Guys,
jellies on it, right?
jump into the Facebook group.
Yeah,
Thongs or flip flops?
yeah. You won't get that, impression out of your mind if you think about Matt wearing thongs. It's not a good look.
No,
No,
not on me.
no.
I've got
Especially
a pair of-
thongs plural as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Two
exactly.
thongs on.
I've got
One for each cheek.
those underwear fits really well between my big toe and my next toe. Anyway, so like I normally for those brief little strolls to get to a location, you're carrying your tripod in your hand, aren't you? But
Yeah.
once the
Yeah.
hiking kicks in, that tripod is mounted onto your camera bag. And I still haven't found a camera bag today that has got a dedicated area for a good sized tripod. It actually sits in, it's designed to be in an area that works well and is well distributed, because a good tripod with a head,
It's
tripod
heavy.
head,
Yes.
it's over 2 kilos,
Yeah.
most of the majority of them. So when you're carrying an extra 2 kilos, it's got to be distributed well.
Yeah. I'm finding that,
yeah.
especially at the minute, because I've had a load of problems with my shoulder recently. Shoulder and neck. I've been going back and forward to the chiropractor with it, and I'm trying to kind of balance myself the other way. So I moved my tripod from the side that's been giving me grief to the other side.
You
of the
can
bag.
tell on all your YouTube videos, because you do those really those bits where you're on location and you're walking away from the camera.
Yeah.
Your camera bag's always hanging to one side.
Yeah, that's why. Because my shoulder's been in a mess.
Okay.
So
and it's definitely that comes down to some important design. And I think
yeah.
we need to have a talk to F-Stop, don't we, to see if they can do
Well,
something
the problem
about that.
is the best place to put that tripod is on the back of your bag.
Yeah.
Directly on the back, not on the side.
The problem then is it's in the wrong place when you stop, because you
it's on the back,
naturally
yeah.
go and take your bag off and then you lie it down,
yeah.
and of course
Yeah,
your
you'd have to-
tripod's right
yeah.
on the
You have
back.
to put it on its bottom first, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd have to sit it upright first, take the tripod off, and then
Yeah.
lay it down.
Yeah, I did put straps on the orange. I bought some orange straps, so F-top ones to put on the back, and I have had my tripod on the back there.
Yeah,
But because I suppose the bags, I don't know why they are 400 wide or whatever.
I'm not sure.
The back, the tripod does slip on the
Side
back.
to side.
Yeah, like the width of the bag.
I got
Yeah,
some
I
extra
dunno.
straps, actually. I bought some extra straps because I found just having those 2 straps at the top wasn't quite enough. So I brought another two straps to put at the bottom so that I can really tighten the tripod into the side of the bag.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I bought some extra. Yeah, because on the Talopa you've got that sort of rubber, like bandy, that sort of stiff
for
rubber
putting
band.
like
isn't it?
skis or what have you, I think it's
Yeah,
or
So-
whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I did the same as you then. I bought 2 extra straps and put them
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Yeah.
And slip the 2 legs
Straight
slip
down.
2 legs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It does the job, but you do feel a little bit
Off balance.
off
Yeah.
balance, maybe.
Unless you've got carrying both the vlogging tripod
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's
the
not
main
too bad.
tripod, then it kind of evens it up. But if you're carrying one, then you're always going to be off balance.
Yeah, defo. Yeah, absolutely.
I had this Mountain Smith Borealis, it was called, so probably a good 7 or 8 years ago now. It's a dedicated camera bag. Not much room inside it at all, but on the outside it looked really, really cool. Well, that's why I got it, because I look really cool. For that only reason. And but one thing it did have, it had a good.
He's not vain at all, guys. Don't worry. He's not. He has changed. Pretty boy.
I just like taking the piss out of myself.
Do you know what I love about him? It's like the really innocent, what's the word? Like flamboyant Italian comments that crack me
But
up.
I'm not Italian.
I know, but you've lived there for what, 20?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but look outside looking in, you are Italian in a way. You know what I mean? You got it in you. You're fully integrated into Italian life, aren't you?
You know what? I think that's all in your head. I'll tell you why. When I go home, back to Australia, for people that don't know me, when I go home, everyone says that I'm more Aussie than the last time I was there because I don't let go of my roots.
Oh no, you're 100% Aussie.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just as
I'm just saying you've embraced Italian
food,
which obviously you have. Yeah, food and the wine.
food and wine,
Yeah.
food and
coffee.
wine, food and wine.
I've embraced that as well.
Yeah. It's the only reason why I have workshops there, mate.
Speaking of which,
Thomas needs Tom. What are you written? Hang on, Thomas has written something on the chat. I'm busting for a PISS. Okay, well go and have a slash, mate. We'll sit here and we'll have a chat about something else while we go to the toilet, Tom.
Is that right?
Yeah,
you're
no
off.
worries.
Yeah.
I know this is quite an informal chat, but yeah.
We'll just keep chatting. People don't mind.
We'll just don't take your mic with you.
Just tick.
Oh no. Frank. Oh, the camera.
No, please no.
Don't pull the camera. My God.
Yeah. So speaking of which, we have a workshop coming up in June, don't we?
Yeah, we don't want to take advantage of the podcast to advertise ourselves, but we can because it's our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah. Of course we can. Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing, Paul? We
have a workshop running in Abruzzo, don't we? From is it the 6th to the 11th of June? Is that right?
Yeah, 5 days. No, 5 nights, 6 days. 5 nights, 6 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Some fantastic locations.
And
awesome, like Roccacalascio, which is castle in the sky, I call it.
Yeah.
Awesome place. In fact, I could spend 5 days there quite happily, to be honest.
I know. When you're there, you kind of just get lazy. You just want to say, can we just stay here and just shoot this place to death?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just so
awesome.
beautiful. I know.
Yeah.
Look, I'm so passionate about this area, Paul, and that's the reason why, I introduced you to this place last year. And you immediately fell in love with it too. And the first thing you thought was, we should be taking people here.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
just
such a stunning place.
It's just it's just made for a workshop, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a shame that more people don't get to see it.
Well, it's not. It is, but it isn't because
Yeah, that's the good thing. It's authentic, isn't it? Because it's sort of the areas we go to. We make them catered for us, photographers. But it's not like you're not going to find other people hanging around, are you? With tripods next to you. It's us, and you're in an area where you're thinking, my God, how's it possible no one else is around?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Anyway, look,
and
Tom's back from his wee now.
Yeah, not only that, but the people are absolutely beautiful people, and they just really look after you, and they're so thrilled for you to be there.
Yeah, they're so
definitely worth checking out.
So passionate about their land. The landscapes there are just there's so much potential, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so if anyone's interested in going on a workshop, this year, sort of beginning of summer, late spring, we're heading this workshop up there, and it's not just a photography workshop. It's a full immersion into Italian culture, into the medieval history, and at the same time, you get to come and learn some photography off us if you want to. We're there for full technical and creative support. So we've got this one coming up. There's a couple of places left over, so if anyone's interested, just throw us a line. You know where to find us.
Yeah, exactly. You know where to find us, and I'll also leave a link in the description as well, so you can find it easily as well.
Excellent.
I can definitely vouch for that. It's an amazing place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Did we mention the food?
Oh, the food.
Food is good.
Man. And if you if you like the wine.
If you like wine, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Up to you.
The wine is decent.
Certainly is.
Definitely got alcohol in it.
Yeah.
What was the theme? What were we talking about again, guys? So we got sidetracked. How was your weed, mate? Was it good? Do you feel better now?
Yeah, it's decent. Thanks. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Wasn't gone too long, was I?
No,
just enough. We just talked about you while you were gone.
I was going to say just enough. Yeah. That's enough.
Mm.
That's all right.
So yeah, we were on to bags. We were talking about the bags, and
we were too. Yeah, squirrel.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's what I mentioned. Something else that I'm realizing more and more is, obviously, is we move on. We get extra gear, don't we? I mean, that's the sick part. Some people probably they've moved mirrorless, so they've got less camera gear. A lot less camera gear, but lighter stuff. And anyway, these accessories just keep building, don't they, inside our bags all the time. And especially if you're going to travel, which a lot of us do travel, where we don't stay local, we do travel, and traveling involves getting on a plane, doesn't it?
It does, definitely.
So you kind of need to have one of these backpacks that fits on a plane, and you're allowed to get on a plane with it. So this is pretty damn important, this part, because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a peak season, I might jump on a plane 3 or 4 times a year, whether between workshops or personal trips. That's 3 or 4 times a year, and I want to be able to take my camera bag with me. I don't want to downsize and take something smaller.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you get a camera bag that will fit in the plane and it's not too heavy. So you kind of need to stick around those 10 kilo mark, isn't it? It's good if you can get away with it, but
depending on which airline, I guess.
Which airline you go,
you kind of need to be able to design these backpacks in a way that you've got everything in your ICU that has to be with you. Anything else goes in your suitcase, okay? So just take your really valuable stuff with you, like your lenses and your camera bodies and your batteries in your actual ICU unit. Leave the rest of the backpack empty. Now, a little trick.
Yeah.
You get to an airport. You're getting a Ryanair flight. Okay, so you're at the airport. You get some lady.
The worst.
Look, I'm going to happily say I just have really bad experience with Ryanair.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Nothing you can And you can't even say you get what you pay for because they're not even cheap anymore. So anyway, moving on from that. So you're on a Ryanair flight and you go up and you go to check in and you've got a lady in front of you who's obviously didn't have a good day, and she looks at you and says, "Can I please weigh your backpack there?" So you put it on there. You're the first one out of 170 people that she's weighed it for. You put it on there, and it weighs 14.5 kilos. She said, "I'm sorry, but we could only accept backpacks that weigh up to 10 kilos." That was the worst Irish accent ever, by the way.
Is that what it was?
Well, I don't know.
I should work it out as well.
It was like cross between Malaysian and Scottish.
I thought you'd taken ill for a minute there.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's had an ictus. Brain stroke. And so what do? You open up your backpack.
Wow.
You take the ICU out. Your ICU is now your hand luggage. And you check in your backpack and you pay those few kilos or whatever it is. So you know that your valuable gear you've all got on your ICU. Everything else can just get checked in and you just pay that $40 or whatever it is for your backpack to be checked in.
Well, you don't even have to do that. Sometimes if you're clever enough beforehand, you put you actually put the backpack part in your checked luggage anyway before you actually hit the gate.
Yep. Or you take your ICU out, you give it to your mother-in-law who's waiting there for you. With a takeaway cappuccino and a sandwich, and you just weigh your backpack without the IC unit and go back and stick your IC unit again. Anyway, they're just little techniques. They're important when you're traveling. You need to make sure that these things aren't massive. They don't take up too much in size. And I found with the new S-Stop, as a personal experience, I travelled with it to Australia. So I checked in about 78 times and got on a lot of planes, and I found I didn't have any problems with the ICU. Probably a little bit. The bag itself on its own is a little bit heavy because it is a bit bulky. So you don't want to stick too much stuff in there. But as far as size goes, it was it worked out well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's about the right height. The top of the frame is exactly the right height for a Rhino.
Yeah.
As I measured it.
yeah.
So it's
Oh,
just
like I
about
said, yeah, I took mine fully loaded, 20
Really?
kilograms, 18 kilograms, and it went in over the head.
yeah.
But I must have paid. I don't know whether I paid for extra weight. Maybe I don't know. Pretty sure
I
I
don't
did it
think
was-
you can when it goes in the cabin. You're limited in the cabin. It's only you pay for extra weight when it gets checked.
Yeah, look, fairly
Yeah.
enough. I was joking a little bit before, but I mean, yeah, weight is really, really important with overhead luggage. There is a reason why, because if that door above your head opens for any, the latch comes open for any reason, and your bag falls out and smashes someone on the head. It's one thing if it falls off and smashes someone on the head and it weighs 7.3 kilos. It's one thing if it falls off and it weighs 20 and breaks someone's neck.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there is reasoning behind what we think is madness. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I hope people understand that it is something. It is something important to take into consideration. They do have a restriction for a reason. Well, partly the reason. The rest of the reason is they wanted Mickey more money out of you. But anyway, that's something different. Yeah. I think, God, we pretty much covered camera bags, have we? What else is there to brands?
Well,
brands.
I tell you one thing before we move on. Let me just tell you one thing that annoys me slightly about the f-stop bag. The one thing that I think it's got missing, and that is somewhere to stick a water bottle.
Yeah.
Now the problem is you've got two side pockets, and those two side pockets you can't really get anything bulky in because they're right up against the ICU.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? There's nothing that sort of bulges out from the side, is there? Yeah.
No, that's the one. If I've got one criticism about the bag, that's the only one that there is just somewhere to put a water bottle. Even if it was in the strap, even if they made like the mesh pockets similar to Shimoda have on theirs.
Yeah.
They've got the mesh pockets where you can pull them open and jam a bottle or something like that in there.
Even the waist belt. I've had camera bags in the past. The waist belt at the front, so where your harness comes across and your buckle goes on there. Which your buckles on those f-stops are brilliant, by the way. There's no
that's
plastic.
the other thing.
It's rugged. Those
decent.
The buckles though, but that area around there, there's a bit of a room for.
Yeah.
Hang on. Now in Australia, you call them bum bag. I don't know why, because they're not on your bum.
Yeah.
And I think in North America they call them fanny bags.
Fanny bag,
Yeah. I don't know why, because if you've got
let's not.
Anyway. What do you call them in the UK?
Yeah, bum bag.
Bum
You
bag,
call them bum bag, do you? Okay, let's just
Yeah.
call it an accessorised holster. So look, there's room to put a couple of little pockets on there, which is good to stick your iPhone, your lip balm, a walkie-talkie, whatever you need to. That a small little tiny vlogging camera, for example. You've got that extra room there. That's there's always room for improvement, isn't there? But we're gearheads. We love gears. However,
they do have the pocket for a bladder, so you could fit a bladder on that bag because it's got all the channels to put one of the hoses through where the bladders and everything goes. So I guess they could kind of argue that we've fitted it out to take a bladder.
Yeah, which I have done that when we went out for family walks. I take the ICU out and put the water bladder in, and we've been out for like a all-day walk with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is quite good.
Okay. Two things about I'm an old hiker. I was a hiker before I was a photographer. I like a lot of us are out there, landscape photographers. I hate bladders.
Yeah.
2 reasons. One, it's inside your backpack. If it does leak, I don't care where it is in the backpack. Water will find its way to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it is in your backpack. You say, oh no, but it's away from the sections to the left or the right or at the top. It doesn't matter. If it's going to leak, it's going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
And the next thing is hygiene. Like those bags, well, they're plastic with a little tiny opening on them to connect your tube. You can't wash those things out. They got so much bacteria in them that just build up all the time, and you can never wash them out properly. So I think for those 2 reasons, just get a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, I love the bladder. I love it.
Yeah. That's why you went to the toilet 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. then I've always been not hiking so much, but mountain biking. So
Yes.
I've always preferred a bladder than a bottle
But
because it's right there.
Yeah.
I find myself I drink more, whereas if I but anyway, yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, I'm a bricklayer, brother. I don't worry about dirt.
Oh, yeah,
No.
okay.
I drink out of anything.
You're not Nancy like me.
Well,
literally,
that says the one with the cold, so maybe I should listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I'll tell you, it's like my brother was a builder. He's not anymore, but and he just built this house out in the countryside. I'm not talking about camera bags, by the way, but it's a funny story. And so I take my missus out, and we go to this little cottage that my brother built out in the country, and he says, so he's got all these kids running around. He had, I think, they would have all been born then. 5 kids. My brother's got 5 kids, and they're running around in the dirt and having fun, and he's just exhausted. And he turned around and said to my wife, "Okay, I'm going to cook pasta with bolognese sauce tonight, considering you're Italian." So it's like, okay, this will be interesting. So he gets out the big. He had like a big tin, and he filled it up with water and stuck it on the fire to boil the water to put the pasta in there. And then we go and eat the pasta later on. We're all sitting down. The kids are starving. They haven't eaten in 7 days, and they're sitting there, and they're eating the pasta. And all of a sudden, my wife goes, almost breaks one of her teeth, and she goes, "Matt," and I said, "What's wrong?" "I've got concrete in my pasta." He just picked up a tin from underneath their house that he probably used to mix some concrete in and just fill the water up and boil the pasta with it. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
sounds
wow.
about right.
and
Yeah, there you go, builders, bricklayers, same
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and not too
Yeah.
fussy. That sell-by dates don't exist when you're a builder.
No.
No,
They don't exist in my they don't exist for me most of the time. It'll be all right. I'll try it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's
That's
all right.
it, yeah. You got to
Give it a-
smell it. If it smells all right, taste it.
Yeah.
If it tastes all right, then that's good enough for me.
Yeah, it's cool enough.
Yeah. I
Well,
will
it's
s-
been. Sorry, mate. Carry
I
on.
just wanted to say one thing actually. The accessories like you have, like the batteries, spare batteries, things like that. I don't know about you, but I never used to before until we started using the f-stop stuff. I buy like the pouches now, the accessory pouches. I'm sure.
Big babies. I've got one under the desk, so
Yeah,
these things here.
that's him. Yeah,
I can't see a bloody thing,
can't
mate.
see it because he's got the old Bee Gees background,
You've
isn't
turned,
he?
you've turned off your porno light tonight, mate. Your neon porno lights. I can't see what's going on.
And they're made out of the same Duradiamond fabric,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, they're
Okay.
good. Yeah, and you can get
Yeah.
like orange one or a green one. So I bought like an orange one and a green one, so I know when I open the bag, I know orange one's got my batteries in. Or
Are they on the website, are they? I might have to go and check them out. Are
Yeah,
they?
they're on the
they're good.
website, yeah. And the
Yeah.
good thing is with those Talopa bags is they actually sit in the space above the ICU.
that's it. Yeah, so I got mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're well worth having because the amount of times I'd go open the backup and I'd be like, where did I put my batteries? Is it, or what pocket I had them in? Whereas if you open the top and you see an orange little pouch, you think, oh, that's
Yeah. That's all that matters.
I would say if anyone was struggling with a bag that they thought was not designed well and they couldn't get on with it,
Yeah.
and they couldn't afford to buy a new bag,
Yeah.
I would suggest buying them accessory pouches
Yeah.
before. That would definitely help, I would say. Clean up things like that, cables, anything like that, or if you've got filters and you want to buy one to put filters in.
They actually do a dedicated filler pouch as well.
Yeah, we did exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, made out of the same
Well,
material.
yeah, well worth the money, I think. And obviously,
Yeah,
not too expensive, are they?
I don't think so. No, I mean, really, for what they are, I mean, they're well designed and they're long lasting, I would say.
Yeah,
Well, you're going to buy some stuff that's going to fall apart, but this stuff's well made.
Just
Yeah.
we just put it up to the did a poll on the Facebook group that we've got for the podcast, which we don't use enough. We should be using this a bit more because it's good to bring up discussion with the group and say, oh, who would you like us to get on to interview, or do you want us to this evening? So I just put this up probably about 4 hours ago before we did the recording, and it's come back that so everyone who uses backpacks, camera dedicated backpacks. So we've got 28% that use f-stop. This is out of a group of how many people have contributed to it?
40 votes. Is that
49.
Yeah,
49 plus
I'd agree.
myself. I've put in there. It's 50 people. Okay, so
Yeah.
going to refresh my page?
it's stop. Yeah, 28%. And then we've got Lower Pro, 26%. We've got Gitso. That was what you're talking about before, which are pretty much a new line of backpacks.
Yeah, they're
I'm-
fairly new, aren't they?
Yeah, they look quite nice.
I'm very surprised that no offense to Gitso, I'm very surprised that they're up the third. Now, I don't know.
Yeah, I am as well, to be honest, because
No,
they
they're
are
not-
a new line.
No, they're
No,
not.
not-
The third. They're not the third. This is just the order of.
just the order. Sorry, yeah.
So
Yeah.
1, 2.
Gitso's 4%.
Oh, they're pretty
Shimoda,
high still, though, aren't they?
Well, it's because wine. Shimoda is up. Yeah, Shimoda is definitely the third.
yeah,
Which you could understand. F-Stop, Wild Pro, Shimoda. They're probably the three biggest brands
quite-
out there, and
it's
rightly
quite
so.
unusual, because I would expect Shimoda to be number one, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah, I see a load of them.
Yeah,
A
but you know
load
what?
of
I
them.
think Shimoda are very big in the States,
Yeah,
but probably in Europe, I would say less so.
Yeah, they're not mass market, are they? I suppose because they
No.
are expensive.
Lower pros sort of have the market because they've been around for a long time.
Yeah, like you said, Matt, they've got that range. You can buy a bag for £100
yeah.
or
Yeah.
£500, haven't you? Can't you?
Definitely. Then we've got Vanguard and Mindshift to sort of have a few mentions in there. Then a
Yeah, a
few other
couple added.
brands like Wandered, 10 Bar. These are this brands that sort of, look, I've never actually, no, I have. A 10 Bar actually took a bloke on the workshop in Patagonia and
Right.
he struggled really
The
hiking.
10 bar.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
pretty sure it was a 10 Bar. Just not designed to be on your back at all.
Yeah,
Great accessories everywhere, but just not designed for what we need it for. And I think
No.
that comes down to what quality control the end, doesn't it? These people, a lot of these brands are just put out there, and they don't have people testing them. They don't have photographers testing them, and that goes with
No.
everything in the end of the day, doesn't it?
well, yeah,
Everything
definitely.
needs to be tested, and there's a price that comes with that testing. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at these big brand camera bags, you have to be prepared to fork out a bit of cash, as opposed to some other brand that you might find on Alibaba or
Yeah.
is that right? Alibaba, yeah.
Yeah. Or Wish.
Yeah, you might
Wish,
find
yeah.
this random brand that you'd never seen before and thought, oh,
Yeah.
that's like a great camera bag, I'll buy that. It's been sort of like copied, like
Yeah.
blueprint copy, but not actually the same material or the same durability or stitching. They're just
Yeah.
sort of copied bags.
Yeah.
So people really need to take that into account. Obviously, if money's an issue too when you're coming to talking about camera gear, it is an issue because it is expensive stuff.
Yeah,
and
it is.
everyone's got the cash to fork out. I would suggest if you're going to get a camera bag or anything with regard to photography, hold back and wait till you got the cash and then
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
Because you make that one purchase and you're finished,
Yeah. Otherwise, you end up with a room full of bags.
like me.
Yeah. It happens. I mean, I've done it as well. I've done it as well. And I did at one point, I had about 6 or 7 bags lying around.
Yeah.
It's just, you can only carry one at a time.
Oh, I can remember when the new F-Stop bag came out, and I said to my wife just randomly, she doesn't even care when I talk about photography, but I said to her, "Oh, look, there's this new bag that came out from F-Stop," and she's like, "No." And I said, "No, hang on a second. No, you're not getting another camera bag. No, but it's really good. No, you're not getting another camera bag. There's a whole area at home that's dedicated to suitcases and everything. Obviously, you need to get those bags when you're going away on holidays or you go away on a weekend or you travel overseas or whatever it is, and you need to be able to access them. And it's just completely been taken over by camera bags. So, I can quite understand that. But yeah,
Dude, yeah.
if
Buy once, cry once.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I never heard that before. That's decent, yeah.
And you save. You save in the long run, especially if photography is important for you. You think you're going to be doing it forever. Spend that money once, hold off, and just buy it once later. Yeah,
It is hard as well, isn't it? Because, like we mentioned, comforts are all three of us said comforts are number one.
Yeah.
When you're buying online, and you're just going to spend between $300 and $500, pounds or whatever, euros. You don't really know whether it's going to fit you, do you?
Look, I would suggest if money is an issue and you don't have the money, but you need that bag now, my biggest suggestion for people out there is go and buy an f-stop ICU, so these cubes. Buy one that is the right size, there's various sizes. Buy one that's the right size for your camera gear. So you got your small, your medium slope, your large, your extra large. Buy the one that you need for your camera gear, and then buy a hiking bag, okay? Because
with rear access,
well, there's not many out there with rear access. We're lucky we got that one.
Yeah.
Just get any random one you can out there, and you can always use that later on in your life as a dedicated hiking bag. In the meantime, you can wait till you got the money, then you can go and buy the camera bag that you want and use that ICU to put it in there. I think that's the best. That's the best way to look at it.
You'll get yourself off to a show as well, you know.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because going to a show where they're all there is probably quite slim. Like even at the photography show, Paul, this year.
Yeah, there wasn't that many.
There was hardly anything there, but at least you could try a low pro on, or you could try a Vanguard on, or whatever.
Okay. Well, Shimoda were there as well.
Oh, Shimoda were there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could go to a place or the big shop or a show where you could actually try the bags on.
Yeah.
And then I look around on the internet for a cheaper price. That's an ideal situation, isn't it? But
you guys are lucky. There's a really big camera store in Manchester.
Yeah.
Is it London Cameras?
No, it's the other one, Wex, isn't it?
Yeah, Wex are there. Yeah, that's right. Wex are there.
And then you got that one in London too.
That's London Camera Store.
Yeah. LC.
You got these big camera stores. There's a lot of people that don't have access to these camera stores. A lot of it you got to buy online, you know.
Yeah.
Or you go to these photography shows, which much of them muchness these days. I know we don't have one in Italy anymore. And it looks like the one in Manchester is just getting smaller and smaller every year, isn't it? So is it not Manchester? Where is it?
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Photo show. It's a shame. They could.
Yeah, they are good. Yeah.
Anyway, good. We hit 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I think for 1 hour and 3 minutes we talked about camera bags, guy.
Exactly.
When you talk about camera bags for that long, you should probably I just talk too much. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Blame it on myself. I'm not going to blame it on you two.
I said to my missus tonight. She said, "Oh, what's the podcast about?" I said, "Oh, camera bag." She went, "Oh, that's nice." I have to say, fuck it.
You just said, don't worry, we can give a topic off to Matt like toothpicks, and he can talk about them for 7 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay, guys. Well, it's been fantastic to get back going again because it seems to have been a while since we put one out. So it's been great to get going again. Hope you've all enjoyed it, and look forward to getting you on the next one as well. And maybe we'll get somebody on the next one. We'll see how it goes. We've got a few guests lined up, so we'll see what we're going to do for the next one.
Definitely, we should get in contact with them because they probably think we're just ignoring them. But
probably. Yeah. We'll get on to it anyway. We'll get on to it. So thanks very much for joining us, guys. We'll see you again soon. Check out the links in the description for the workshops and any other bits and pieces, links to the Facebook group. Go and get involved with that so we can take your interaction and put it forward for the next podcast.
And the link on the f-stop bag that all three of us have, which I recommend get the green one. You look more hardcore.
Nah, go for
you want the black one.
The orange one's great. We got one of each, so
the orange one clashes with my red coat though.
At least with the orange one, you could be anywhere in the world and they go, look at those guys. Oh, that's Paul Thompson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can spot me a mile away.
Yeah, unless you get a purple one.
Don't go there. Right, we'll see you on the next podcast, guys. Take care.
Bye bye.
See you later.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.